In a quiet fourth-grade classroom, as Miss Parker was teaching fractions, a sudden rustling from the back row caught everyone's attention. The source was young Bella's backpack, which started to move on its own, causing a stir among the startled students. Miss Parker approached cautiously, her heart racing with a mix of concern and curiosity. But as she unzipped the backpack, tears welled up in her eyes at the unexpected sight inside. Miss Parker ignored the rustling sound the first time she heard it. But when the rustling sound continued and her students began to make uneasy sounds, she turned around to see what the commotion was about. "What's going on?" she asked her students sternly. Her students all looked at each other, waiting for one of them to speak up, but it stayed silent. She frowned at the sight, prompting one of her students to finally speak up. Miss Parker? It's coming from Bella's backpack." Miss Parker raised an eyebrow, looking in Bella's direction. "Bella, do you have anything to say?" she asked sternly. Slowly, tears began to well up in Bella's eyes. "Bella, there's no need to cry. Just tell me what's inside your bag," Miss Parker said. Bella's face began to turn red as she looked down at the bag beside her. Miss Parker was stunned. She began to walk over to Bella to see for herself what was inside her bag. But as soon as Bella realized what was about to happen, she grabbed her bag and ran to the other side of the classroom. "Bella, what are you doing?" Miss Parker irritably said. "Let me look into your bag right now." The other children in class began to giggle quietly, but Bella didn't join them. She was really upset and seemed to be very protective of her bag. Every time Miss Parker walked or ran in her direction, Bella would run away. This went on for a few times until Miss Parker had enough. "If you don't hand your bag over to me right now, I'm sending you to the principal." "Bella!" Miss Parker yelled after her, running to the door. She watched Bella running through the hallway and disappearing through the school's entrance. She quickly ran to Mr. Hendricks's classroom and asked if his intern could look after her classroom for a little while. Then, she quickly ran after Bella, hoping she wouldn't be too far out of sight. Miss Parker burst through the school doors, frantically looking around her. "Bella!" she yelled. "Bella!" But there was no response. What on earth could be so important inside her bag? If Miss Parker couldn't find Bella in the next hour or so, she had no other choice but to call the police. Her thoughts were heavy with concern for Bella. Why had she run away? What was she hiding in her backpack? The gravity of Bella's disappearance quickly reached the school's administration. Concerned, the principal immediately convened a meeting with staff members. Decisive steps were needed. The decision was made to call Bella's parents and alert them of the situation. When Bella's parents received the call, their reaction was a mix of shock and deep concern. Miss Parker, alongside a team of teachers and staff, began a meticulous search of the school. Realizing the school's interior provided no clues, the search party expanded their efforts outside. The school, understanding the severity of the situation, issued a community alert. Emails and automated calls were sent to every family associated with the school, providing a description of Bella and requesting any information about her whereabouts. When Bella's parents arrived, their faces were etched with worry. They hurriedly approached Miss Parker, their concern palpable. "She's been so different lately," her mother shared, her voice breaking with emotion. It was clear that Bella was grappling with more than just typical childhood woes. Miss Parker, alongside Bella's parents, attempted to piece together the fragmented clues. In their discussion, it emerged that Bella had become increasingly introverted at home, often spending hours alone in her room. Despite their efforts, the pieces of the puzzle remained disjointed. The more they learned, the deeper the mystery of Bella's disappearance and her guarded backpack seemed to grow. "Also, I've seen Bella going to the old garden shed during recess," Emma continued, her voice lowering. She described how Bella would look around nervously before slipping into the shed, clutching her backpack protectively. Miss Parker's mind raced as she listened to Emma. Bella's protective attitude towards her backpack, her emotional outbursts, her secretive trips to the shed, it all started to form a pattern. The old garden shed, a place rarely visited by students, suddenly seemed like a significant location in understanding Bella's recent actions. Determined to find answers, Miss Parker decided to visit the shed, hoping it would bring her one step closer to finding Bella and unraveling the mystery of her guarded backpack. In the shadow of an old oak tree near the school's boundary, Miss Parker found Bella. She was huddled in a small, concealed nook, her arms wrapped tightly around her backpack. Miss Parker approached slowly, her voice soft and soothing. "Bella, it's okay. You're safe now," she reassured her. In the quietude of their secluded spot, Miss Parker spoke gently to Bella. her words imbued with kindness and empathy. "You're not in trouble, Bella. I'm here to help you," she said, her tone reassuring. As they sat together, a silent bond began to form between Bella and Miss Parker. Miss Parker, with a gentle tone, asked Bella about her backpack. "Can you tell me what's inside, Bella? I promise, whatever it is, I'm here to help you," she said kindly. As the minutes passed, the atmosphere of trust and understanding began to break down the walls Bella had built around herself. Miss Parker gently held Bella's gaze, her voice soft but firm. "Bella, no matter what's in that backpack, I'm here to help you," she assured. "You're not alone in this." Gradually, Bella began to share snippets of her life, her voice a mere whisper. She talked about feeling overwhelmed, struggling to find her place both at home and school. As the trust between them grew, Bella slowly emerged from her shell. She confided in Miss Parker about her loneliness, the reasons she felt compelled to hide and protect something so fiercely. Bolstered by Miss Parker's unwavering support, Bella took a deep breath. Miss Parker watched, her heart pounding with anticipation and empathy. Inside the backpack, nestled among some old towels, lay a frail, malnourished stray kitten. Its eyes were closed, and its breathing was shallow. Bella looked up at Miss Parker, her own eyes brimming with tears. "I found him in the alley a few weeks ago," she whispered. "I couldn't just leave him there." The revelation explained so much about Bella's recent behavior. Miss Parker's heart swelled with a complex mix of emotions. The discovery of the kitten illuminated the depth of Bella's compassion and her sense of responsibility, even as a child. In that moment, Miss Parker realized the immense impact of her role as a teacher and the profound connections that can be formed in the classroom. In response to Bella's situation, the school administration chose to see it as an opportunity for empathetic education. They recognized the importance of addressing the incident with understanding and sensitivity. The principal announced plans to incorporate lessons on kindness and responsibility towards animals, using Bella's experience as a foundational example of compassion in action. To deepen the students' understanding, a local animal shelter was invited to give a presentation. The shelter staff talked about the importance of empathy towards animals, proper care techniques, and the realities of animal homelessness. They emphasized the value of compassion and responsibility, themes directly reflected in Bella's actions, thus reinforcing the message with a real-life example. Bella's story had a profound impact on her classmates. They began to see her not just as a fellow student, but as a role model for kindness and empathy. The tale of Bella and her rescue of the kitten quickly spread beyond the school walls, capturing the hearts of the local community. It sparked conversations among neighbors and local businesses about animal welfare and the importance of compassion. The story became a rallying point, highlighting the power of empathy and the impact one individual, no matter how young, can have. The story concludes with Bella feeling a deep sense of acceptance and value. The school, once a place of routine learning, now embraced a culture of empathy and inclusivity thanks to Bella's influence. Her journey with the kitten had not only saved a life but also enriched the lives of those around her, leaving a lasting legacy of compassion and understanding in her school community.